I'm a little out of Dracula's. Let's spend a little while on the Met side of the Vania. In no particular order. You see, in the future, this is a feature of all rental cars. Natural evolution of the GPS. Yeah, this is the one with all the dialogue and linearity and so forth. A handful of, like, good and interesting gameplay tweaks and a couple of weird steps back. one I know reasonably well and could very well be done with it over the course of this session. The good clear time for best ending is 2 hours. And then speedrun times are naturally much tighter than that. The lovely pulsating breathing animation. I think there are a lot of situations that put you into this standing and staring directly at the camera state. Anyway, let's break that. And, control the responding well. No, hey, boat, stop. Yeah, everything looks in order. So yeah, while it is the least genre-ish of the... Right, there we go, edge cleaning is the thing that's just in right away, very convenient. Yeah, while it is the least freedom permitting or freedom encouraging, most linear of the franchise, didn't headbang a moment here. Still pretty good at like putting up the illusion of letting you wander around and engage in all sorts of things. The route that it has planned for you is fun. It does give you the opportunity to engage with some interesting set pieces. The good changes on display there versus at this point. The last one of these had been just Super Metroids. You can see their circle on the map indicating item. Once I eventually collect that item, it will turn into just a closed dot. Very helpful, as places that might contain items in Super just had a dot, and thus that ambiguity. Did I get this already? Ease of reference. And yeah, we got ourselves a plot that is actively participating in the game, as opposed to like the, you know, very barren minimalism that exists in some of the better points of the franchise. Well, really, that's something that was kind of lost very early in the life cycle of these. No, let's just step back to another point. I could clear this reasonably quickly, but I'm gonna instead take my time and relax, enjoy the sights, rub myself against various corners of the environment. Try for a high percentage of item getting, just because some of the items are in interesting and clever setups. And otherwise, why not make numbers go up? Numbers are fun. Yeah, kind of the, you know, stark, isolated, let's say, kind of soulsy minimalism where it doesn't go out of its way to tell you things and just lets you experience an environment. That kind of only came up during, like, the first 3 of the franchise, by and large. I think Zero Mission kind of recaptured a bit of it. That will be getting a run-through after that, and it's one I never actually completed on its own, so... that will get to go back to the blind experience. Hey, weird space frog. Yeah, this one is a story that's actively participating, and... certainly had me grip enough. With, Zero was a remake of the first game. I've just met one. It certainly, the story like way back as a youth certainly held my attention well enough, but even then, kind of had a lot of the touchstones of things that were kind of trendy and bland and in science fiction of the early 2000s, particularly anime science fiction, wherein we have, as was mentioned during the lead-in, I could have loitered a while and let that drift around. Biotechnology and you know, living tech and bio this, bio that. Mighty organic goo components of... it can grow and replicate and mutate. And bacterial gunk, the ultimate weapon. So we have that here, where we have our primary enemy is going to be a new sort of bio-monster, and apparently that the suit had bio bits in it. There was some kind of, you know, important meat components in there that such that the suit could have disease and need to be cut off. And now really we ourselves are a bio monster. We have arrived on an entire space station infested with mimics. However, the mimics are the natural prey of the Metroids. So, having received the Metroid vaccine in order to get degunked, we ourselves are now capable of peacefully and nutritiously absorbing Mimic, claiming their vital juices. Much like how after receiving a flu vaccine you can lay eggs and fly. Biotechnology. Just filled you with Metroid DNA and that integrated itself into you because, sure, why not? So anyway, one of the core ways in which the game is going to gate us firmly, we have a series of color-coded doors, which rather than, as in other mets, indicating like a tool you need to open them, there's just a series of security locks that we will be gradually releasing as we explore the station. Just thresholds in the plots. Right now we have neutral, blank door. Open and ready to go. And this enemy will hopefully display our core dynamic. Core combat where okay, that one was suicidal, but any enemy you defeat will drop a gunk, which will then float around. If you touch the gunk, you absorb it and get health and ammunition back. Once we get to not that one, gunk that's left to loiter too long will regrow its exterior and become a new enemy. And you can see the little set piece here. Right, I accidentally intercepted that one. Yeah, we have dead scientists laying around, and this idle goo here, if more X-Parasite drifts in, it can reanimate that goo and put it to use. Conspicuous meter-wide narrow passage. I wonder, if a Parasite is flashing like that one was on the way in, that means it's currently invulnerable. It's just kind of a flavor animation that lots of Parasites will get, where they drift into an area and then spawn into something instead of just being there in advance. Just some interesting. Barrier gunk. We do not have a strong enough weapon to break that one yet. Someday. Someday, a handful of minutes from now. There's a lot of nice background art in this one as well, although they naturally make things less barren and desolate and more intrusive. Where on this station, there's still a lot of good flavor put into making things look like things and so forth. Corridor blocked by big, knotted, massive tube cable. But perhaps there is another one. And our first elevator mode. this game were on a disc, I would suspect that was masking loading times. Instead, it's just here's, you know, you're in between things. Have some filler. There's some nice stars drifting back past the background here. Most of my experience with this game was on an actual GBA, so I'm used to the tiny screen and thus missing out on a lot of little incidental details that exist in the art. I will be taking some time to just genuinely stop and appreciate all these little animations, bits and bobs. Conspicuous panel. A change that I would call for the worst, primarily, but it's an understandable one. Wall jumping physics are very strongly adjusted here, so that it's to prevent you from being able to like spring off of a single wall over and over again indefinitely, like you could in Super, just by curving your way back into it. On the other hand, the timing to actually initiate the jump is much easier, but you will like firmly fling yourself away and not be able to reverse onto the wall. Let's see if I can snag that square. And there's someone. Come on. Not a big deal. I will go up to conspicuous red door eventually, but... The area has a high density of rooms. Part of the being handholded. Another way in which this game is dragged down that I do find forgivable, sort of, or at least understandable, that how compartmentalized all the different sections of it are, like, give frequent reminders of where you were and what you were supposed to be doing. That's all in accordance with like the design philosophy that exists in a lot of places for portable games, where the idea is to not expect your user to be committing large blocks of time playing the game continuously. It's a very common attitude in developing for a portable device. To design around somebody who's going to show up and play in like short little fragmented sessions. And no clear expectation about whether you're going to be coming back frequently or after a long time. Plan around someone who's, you know, wasting time during their commute. There's one of the good design decisions. Missile. Now just tied to this very quick button rather than the like more intricate series of sub-weapons you cycled between in Super. We have missile, various better kinds of missile are just going to get organically pasted onto the missile to make it better, and some other tools are going to be just reassigned to other controls. And at very least, all the frequent expository dialogues from Adam. At the end of them, they default to, yeah, I get it, please, stop talking, just let me go. Nice reflections on the windows from the emergency lights pulsing against them instead of the regular lighting. All these bits are still hot, though. I guess they're important, whatever they are. Anyway, could have sworn that alarm kept going longer. Yeah, there's a lot of stances and animations that Samus just pulsates in. We're very proud of having space to put this breathing animation. It's still while crouching, but you stand, just pulse. Rob. Thank you. Now we can break basic barrier. And let's see. So that little blue-green fellow there, those recover health and a bit of ammo. The first variant of X. Those who... Early item grabs are going to be pretty simple, either out in the open or behind a little bit of platforming, or just a very simple, accessible secret panel. One of the things I will put against this game's design is that since your recovery is tied to parasite drops, and there's only like one additional color of parasite past the basic yellow and green that we've seen right now, it makes it very hard to refill a depleted character when you're deeper into the game. Just because, like, eventually you'll have, like, larger enemies that are composed of several parasite at once, but you'll only get, like, at most 4 parasites out of a single creature. And when you consider that we're going to end up with, like, 20 times as much max health as we have right now. So they are not quite 20, I think like 14 energy tanks maybe in this one. But still, more than 10 times the health and 10 times the ammo and different kinds of ammo. Trying to refill on anything but the like a recharge station takes ages. Anyway, Idor. Basic recurring obstacle we're going to see several of. It either opens its eye and is vulnerable, or has charged an attack. And there we go, red parasite, that's the remaining color. And it wandered off. No, get back here! That is worth much health and ammo. At this point, effectively a full heal, but it is a finite amount. So eventually it won't be enough. I'm gonna carefully probe the ceiling here. I know that somewhere in this zone there is a hidden passage for extra stuff. Going down that column there leads to the first boss, and it is a point of no return. Sure, there's a hole around here somewhere. But that whole black space directly above us, that's walkable. Where the entrance to it is. Have I already ruined it? Is the entrance over there? Oh, one of those questions answered. Almost. Also, these staggered ledges kind of exist to introduce you to the idea of wall jumping, even if you haven't figured it out yet. Since they'll at least put in the player's mind the idea of, you know, bouncing back and forth between 2 walls as a way to ascend or descend. I actually grabbed the ledge that time, off whichever pod I managed to bounce. Yeah, the main path of the game never really demands the wall jump. It's entirely a matter of item collecting. There we go. damn sure there is a hole in this ceiling. To come back for it later? Got a nice parallax scrolling background here. Some kind of storage hole. Maybe it's over here? Wherever it is, it was reasonably sure that you could get it before this boss. You can walk into this boss with extra tank. Mysteries. Apparently it's over to the left side. Get on ahead and show you out a reference map. I need a missile in order to break it. Locked in now. Unless I just go ahead and die. Save point's right back there. I'm willing to sacrifice myself for item completion. Look, a boss fight. This won't take long. Go with me, fellow. It's when you get around to actually paying attention to this guy. Look! Ledges! Use ledges to dodge moves, then hit him in the face. It's fine, boss. And that is a recreation of an enemy from Metroid 2. There will be several here, as part of the premise of this station is that they were studying the Metroid planet. And so it's populated with native wildlife. there are a handful of nuances to the eye door. Which is a little weird because they very quickly stop being relevant. They, like, never get more health, so... Well, right now, it takes 3 missiles to slay an eye door. That number is never going to scale up. It's up here somewhere. No, well, when I went in reference, I was looking at the wrong part of the... It is indeed over there, and it does indeed exist. Above this tank. There we go. And up to the right of this room. Ow. Does not require morphing ball. I know I've claimed this before fighting the boss. Reasonably sure it's inside of here. The thinnest point in the wall. Normally, if you have a destructible brick and you hit it with the wrong weapon, other than just basic beam, then it'll, like, reveal itself and tell you what you did wrong. There we go. Go back and look at the recording and see if I just missed noticing that I'd broken that first block during any of the previous barrages, because I feel like I hit all of that. Maybe I just missed it. There we go. Yeah, your first instance of... There are some cleverly hidden items that still reward you for exploring and dabbling, even if the, like, main path of progression is still simple and deterministic. So yeah, a big X. All pointy, scraggly. You get to dress as something fancy. If you're still clinging to the wall when he slams into it, then he knocks you off. And I should actually be saving missile during this phase, given that I came in low. There we go. Awesome. So yeah, this phase gets tacked on after the end of most of the bosses in this game, where you fight a big X. It lazy chases you, it releases X's when struck, and must be hit with missiles to defeat. On defeating them, you get to absorb a large gunk that contains a move. Your retained ball. And another helpful thing, they've given ball for when there's a hole in a wall elevated off the ground. You can ledge grab and go directly into orb mode. Likewise with these ladders, like you just climb along the wall. Also make that nice little bounce noise when the orb hits the ground. And now, having done that, I think I've claimed everything that's up there in that corner. Energy, 2 missile. Yeah, that's all that's over there. Also conveniently, once you have everything in a given sector, there will be a little icon that will show up on the map just to check it off. And it's like by category. You'll be like, well, yeah, you found all the energy here. You found all the missile here. Found all the large bomb here. You get so many power bombs in this and have so little use for them. Fusion will feel smaller than the others, because it is. We are now terribly worried. The animals are in danger. A room that is here to set up, well, to showcase and then foreshadow other things. 1, hey, what's this frozen dragon doing here? 2, at this point in the game, yeah, time, space, etc. An unpleasant side effect of your getting vaccinated and Metroided is that you are now also sensitive to cold. So, low temperature environments are dangerous to you, like very high temperature environments would be in other games in the series. There's stuff to do in here, but that's all part of a later, like, progress sequence, so nothing to fret over. Here are the storage room. Here was the particular storage room where your stuff was kept. The mysterious explosion began the problems. Ahoy, Seamus. most scenes involving Seamus there are fairly well executed and interesting. Either as just little plot beat moments or as challenges. We're actually allowed to go into this sector, well, at least approach the front of this sector before going elsewhere. Let's see if Adam will nag for being like, no, what, don't you know what 1 is? That 1, not 2. Oh, well, he's letting us download the map. Alright, he has nothing particular to say, just... Here's your map. Would you like reminders? Perhaps the real monster was Sam. Anyway, yes, one of the core ways in which the game is compartmentalized and linearized is you have these series of numbered zones. There's these big tubes on the bottom of the station that each contain a distinctive environment. You go to them in an order and do things. With a little bit of mixing around once they have a sense of the formula. For now, Cirques. Yeah, you can see there on their little diagram the overall structure of the station. Much farther into the game, you gain the ability to unlock little side paths between all these sections that link them together into a continuous map. Our first mission, air conditioner repair. Our objective of going forth and touching a series of objects, which effectively just ends up converting around to... Actually, I'm gonna let some of these survive, because these are a fun... Or, wait, do I have to... Okay, they'll try to form, try to grip me, and then it's... Yes, if you bust them free, then the parasites will feed into... Or, damn, did I kill all of them? Ah. Painful. So yeah, you notice some more bigger than others. If you let... Actually, I'll just reset the room and demonstrate. So... One of you all wander off, and there we go! If you let the parasites keep feeding into other free-floating ones, they will become a yet larger blob. I think that one's as big as they get. Yeah, we have to engage a series of objects. There's one of them. Effectively, it just maps to, yeah, explore level, get items. These are also quite easy to deal with, viewing more parasite. Gotta shoot the gunk off. First of any enemies that have some sort of hardened shell to make them missile resistant. Or otherwise sometimes you'll find things that are missile resistant and must be beamed. going ahead and scrolling the map over. For a little bit of consultation. Probably gonna be item roundups at some point. Some of them do pose interesting challenges. Whether navigational or just an execution. Here's a tough thing to do. Look, a hole in the wall. Optimal flubs. I am doing this with an analog stick, substituting for buttons, so... Might take a while to get used to having timings explored properly when you're having an analog input turn into a straight digital button press. At what point in the stick is the button? That or I'll relent and start using keyboard or mapping the D-pad. Come on. Brain, you've done this before. The input is actively trolling me at this point. The X are rapidly increasing in number. There. That corridor. This will lead to like a soft dead end. Can either be missiled in the face or beamed in the back. Hey, what are you guys doing here? Weird and mysterious. No, not a dead end. There's actually a little bit of flexibility in how you go around this area. Also a soft dead end because acid magma pool thing. Gentlemen? Why would the space government just keep vats of pirate DNA? Additional frogs in the background. Chilling out. Eating frogs. Conspicuous. Frogs will keep spawning in this pit, I'm reasonably sure. They have like the background frogs there. Parasites might be able to commandeer them if you keep the atmosphere gizmo running. Right, yeah, I think I actually had the other way around, and there's a barrier at the bottom of that column where the save point is. It will second guess. Multi-parasite enemies like that can only reform if all of their components are present. Yeah, there we go. There's a shutter and a second down here. We'll have to circle back around for the square. Some enemies are also scripted gender, safe mode there, and wander back around to a different location. Let's defeat them again. Straightforward Idor. Good A, friend. Healthy use of Tron lines in this background. Oh, hey, that's something I've never bothered to try. A harmful orb. Handle only with appropriate tools. Get surprised, it's a trap. Alright, so we have here a particular family of big parasites that you will encounter. We'll fight several of these that are considered a boss unto themselves. Or at least this one was. Others get nested inside other bosses. Each parasite containing a beam will, instead of the regular just float around one, be that special, especially spiky type, where they will fire said beam back at you and have to be struck in their beam eye. And we have charge beam. Fine, all-purpose improvement over regular beam. Become acquainted with the sound of charging the beam. Because in many situations, it is quite wise to just leave the beam on. Also plenty of control things to very conveniently quick release your charge beam, have it still going. In particular, if you have a charge and then hit R to correct missiles, the beam will fire. Then you can just leave fire button held and resume charging immediately. It's helpful. There's a room beyond here, but it might be accessible from the other side rather than this. Actually, there we go. This map doesn't need to have relevant markings. It's maybe. I feel like I'm kind of half remembering this, and it might be a speed booster thing. If you could like build up momentum and then shine spark from right here. Yeah, it definitely indicates that that's it. That one, that empty square there. Access from underneath. Something about that surface. Probably spark. And that's about all there is to be done on the first pass through this area. Well, aside from finishing off air conditioning repair. There we go. There's the background frogs being put to work. Some parasites do allow you to intercept them before they reach their host. Reach their host, or otherwise morph into their target forms. here we go. First run of SRX. Wrap up. The map design is still pretty competent about taking you through a series of challenges and then putting you back in the right spot, while still leaving you with a handful of implications of other things. Yeah, there's gonna be like just barely enough length across those 3 map squares there to kind of spark up into that gap. You've succeeded, but you failed because the bio monster is unstoppable. It just reproduces and spreads and multiplies too quickly. How could we ever stop a thing that makes more of itself? It adapts and evolves. Plot element that just clogs so much sci-fi from around this time and for years afterwards and many years before. It's all over the place. There's a reason I keep harping on in humor about biomonsters and meat zones, and it's everywhere and so often it's terribly lazy. The sax. And so there you have a driving force that's out there in the background, causing the problems. There's a wad of infectious gunk kind of puppeting around a bunch of your used suit parts. And apparently having the ability to grow back several of those parts, because you can plainly see here, Sam's helmet didn't have to be removed, that's just still there. Through a new helm, a new gun. All sorts of things. But yes, it's you, but with all your stuff. And thus, extremely dangerous. And into Tropic Zone. Home of many a bug. We have insufficient up to clear this tube. No idea what's being kept in those tanks. You know, science fluid. Also, kinda hazed over, having reminded that so your layout for most of the sectors we're going to go through at this point are now, well, we found you, we've prepared another item for you. But to, you know, to hook it up, you're gonna have to be able to get to a room and download it. That's another thing, data! We have data ready for you. You can download a module. We've patched your firmware to generate explosives. So yeah, you need to be able to get at a data room in order to have things downloaded into you. Look, it's a really big file. We could send it to you over the comm line through Atom, but it would take like 6 hours. So yes, it'll be that we want to give you things at a data room. Data rooms we've used so far have either been cut off by damage to the station or just directly destroyed by enemy action. Or sometimes behind like, places that we really don't want to open yet. But yeah, in that case, it's behind a security door that we've not unlocked. So we need to go find the controls, the blue door, so we can blue our way in. Machinery being gripped by vines. That's actually foreshadowing. There's a tropic sector here. We have this very small map. This is actually one of the larger sections of the station. There's all kinds of shit over here, down and to the right, that's going to be revealed later. You revisit this place a lot. Space Wi-Fi is awful. Yep, just plug into the old security egg. Universal serial gun. Doing a quick look over of the map, as will happen from time to time. These are giving me a chance to kind of half demonstrate that one of the features of the charge beams it now stands is that our shot now actually contains 2 projectiles. And the first is wider than the second, and like takes priority in hitting things. So if we shoot something and it's either only like catching the bottom edge of the shot, the second projectile will head out over it. Or if it dies in one hit, then the second projectile will carry on and hit something else. The beam will kind of snap in half. Like, there we go, you can see that secondary shot flying off. I don't recall if this is a room that demands bomb or not. Well, that was a moment. Could be a bomb room. Because yeah, there's a hidden thing off to the right of there. This is not just, you know, a helpful closet shellfish. Data. Oh yes, there's an explosion, sound of heavy thumping footsteps, and now that door is broken. Completely smashed in. Seamus possesses the immense power of event flags. Listening around, and for a moment I thought there were still clanking footsteps. Anyway, off into the undocumented tropic zone. This is only the beginning of undocumented tropic zone. But while Fusion did clamp down on a lot of the tricks that one uses to engage in shenanigans, I think bomb jumping has been largely left alone. Still pull off a fair number of weird tricks with bomb. So many vines, so much grass. There's one also in like the background outside of the foreground. Interground? It's like it's stuff that's at the same depth as us, just obscured. Structure. The more ground. Yeah, I found everything along here so far. It's those guys from up. Here they are again. Hopping away. Blue bug is quite tough. Appropriately, contains a red gem. Red parasite. Red gunk. Bomb is the first of our tools for getting lazy about the search for hidden objects. If you bomb a brick, you will reveal if it's any sort of special brick. Bombs just know. They're clever like that. Really had something there. Momentary cursor grid. Can't bomb jump underwater at all before having attained gravity. Let's see. How do I get this? I will definitely applaud having this underwater section that isn't just a signal to come back with the appropriate upgrade. They can almost sneak up there, little ball. Gotta be careful, because when I, like, crouch to initiate ball state, that cancels my momentum a bit. Tricky one. Be sure I'm not missing something simple, like an extra free post. Feels very close to possible with tight execution. Quite getting that second tap. Come Come on. Come on, Tim. Yeah, don't get enough plate hanging from the side. Only smash against this for so long. After a point, I will give it a miss and come back later. There, that's the point. Next time, missile pack. Not enough up. Close to the right rhythm for arbitrary bomb jumping. Might also be thinking that very close to item that solves that one, so not much of a hassle, but come back afterwards. It's also for later. Alright, Bug, I tried to leave you alone, but give me no choice. Oh, that's another thing. Oh, that was also a feature in Diplomat Run, but it's back here. You can do kind of a poor man's spine shot, or poor man's screw attack. You spin jump with the charge in your gun. A smidge of cartography. Yeah, let's just carry on this way. Yeah, that's the way to the boss. We'd gone down other hallways, we would have seen the other way to get into this little notch under the floor, and then scoot over and be like, ah, there you are. And have to divine the secrets necessary to enter it. Find map lab. Specifically, yeah, back at that column there, the floor was destroyable before the save room. Here in this nice tree and fungus zone. A frisky jumping. Being informative, comprehensive. Yeah, that's why you get caught. Demonstration. This is what not to do. Now that it's gotten to short mode, it will try to glide more often. Convenient for you, since you do less waiting around and more shooting back at the boss. And here's a kill. I sort of feel like it was a thing that if you waited long enough, you could be stuck fighting a Core-X twice. Possibly not, though, given that we transitioned over to the, you know, the ominous item recovery music. There's also different color schemes for these cores. Like, I'm only now appreciating, like, intermixing the red and blue on the different nodules. Oh, now we have high jump. And packaged in with it, spring ball. And packaged in with an event flag. Everywhere that there were bug, there were now cocoon. Out here for mapedness sake. But plenty more cocoon. Aforementioned tunnel. And another very nice background for all these weird spore things. The old planty nodules. Ah, yes. More bomb. Bomb plus. A step beyond bomb. Very straightforward Sax encounter. Just do not be foolish and assail her. For she too has event flags, as the cocoons are now wiggly cocoons. The wiggling begins. There we go, had to hold up. attacks and counters are pretty effective little moments. Now, does high jump also apply underwater? Yeah, that feels right. That might be the ticket to getting at this. Either that or just being able to spring orb directly. There we go. Puzzle solved. Quick map check. Yep, we are on our way out for now. This is not even Tropic Sector's final form. We're about to close off the first leg of undocumented Tropic Sector. There will be more. Bug being conveniently used to direct your attention and lock you out of things that you'll be allowed to open later. I really want there to be a thing over there, but there isn't. With our new ability, we can... With our new abilities, plural, right? Remember, other room. We can close this out by grabbing two things you saw but could not touch. Fine marksmanship on my part. And here we have the other element of the formula for the bulk of the game. Yeah, that door you opened in order to do one thing has bad consequences. We could also briefly nudge Sector 3, but Sector 3 is high temperature sector. I think we'd very quickly run into something too hot. Besides, we're gonna get some good stuff out of Aqua Zone here. Wet Zone. More fine soundtracking going on. And the gimmick in place that is currently flooded with electrified water. And so, we're going to be dealing with about half of this map right now. I see you background creatures milling about like you run the place. I think this bit is mostly the lead back from later places. Well, a friendly save point. Small rewards for bothering with it earlier. Wait, where are you? Very easy to forget in most Metroids that bombs do damage things. I'm overthinking this or not. Yeah, there you are. You just so rarely use the bomb against enemies. A tool for clearing your environment. Bombs are for exploration. Bombs spread knowledge. The greatest bomb is the truth. These fish are capable of getting upgraded to big fish. Yeah, like that. Feed them multiple X. They at least give you a tasty reward for heading down a false path. You know, I think you get the trick of course it's not going to be the route on the map, the official way forward. Get a lovely square. Also seen there because the charge beam has this wideness to it. It is able to hit multiple targets at once. Interact with them accordingly. Cartography break. Going to damp zone. Let's see. Yep, been on the ball so far. Water draining controls affected by some sort of barricade. If only we had the power of left. Some way to move and attack with immense speed. You can also charge beam the eye. Also, interestingly, not every eye door has a closed door under it. Sometimes the eye was just extending over a vacant hallway. Anyway, boss fight. It's the mighty go fast beast. It's a little rude. Because, well, there are safe places to be in response to each of its patterns, but there's very little time to react to where any of those patterns go. And yeah, general setup, it snakes around, when you hit it, then it gets mad and snakes faster for a while. And it slows back down. Its speed temporarily boosted. Okay, fine. Did not want to have to fight the Dracul-X in the soup. No, that's the same color as the last one. Now we are swift. Yeah, you can go fast. You can, when you are in fast state, stop and retain your charge and then use that to launch yourself. Usual ways and means. Now we could conduct the draining. That's a really advanced architecture. Just this memory foam wall that's able to seal back up after disintegrating. Powerful drainage system as well. This time we cannot go fast anywhere that is also damp. Security. input for relevant go fast burst. The tease. Although it is to some degree the promise that you will return here and harness further wonders of Goldman. I feel like those contain much more bountiful rewards. Maybe later? And these fellows are here, obstructing access to the next room over. Not that we'd be able to do much with it, since those are extremely high security doors. We won't be going there until much later. These very unpleasant balloons. And yeah, just all of this is very quick to kind of nope. Nope, don't come here yet. Don't be here. Stop it. Go home. This is not your home. Still, you can grab a few prizes earlier. The wet zone here is quite heavily documented by its map. Just make explicit that there's so much more that you're going to do. And yeah, there's another woman. And that floor there is actually breakable. It's a way that you sneak up in there later. Either way, I think that's all that we have to do for our first visit. Aqua Zone. Just in time to be nearly down for the session. Quickly nudge the controls. Per the formula, we have new equipment for you, but only one place where you could download it. Proceed to Strange Fire Area. Quite fun that this hallway is long enough to just speed boost when you're just cycling from one zone to another. Yes, your recovery is our primary and only goal. Now go open the hatches to let more monsters into this part of the ship. And super missile, which in this game is just a straight up organic damage upgrade to regular missile. Missile, but bigger. And while I am going to stop here, just, as a closing remark, interestingly enough, this game does go about providing a reason that there is a magma zone on the space station. Beyond just, like, alright, here's another environment where maybe we do science, high temperature science. It's that, furthermore, that this section of the station contains, like, all of the cooling equipment for the reactor. So what you're doing here is, this is a stage part of the station that is very hot, regardless, because all the heat from the power system goes somewhere. And probably when the station is working normally, a lot more of that heat is being vented into space by whatever means you do, but then, you know, things are being less than well maintained. As we will see, just to go ahead and speak ahead, there's a section later wherein something actively fucks with the cooling system and you have to come in here and fix it to avoid having the station completely explode. This is just where all the extra heat goes. Kind of a thing that some sci-fi engage in and others don't. Where, like, kind of a thing. Well, space is cold, so you think, space cold. But in practical terms, space kind of very hot, because space is like, just, it's vacuum, it's a perfect insulator. If something is in space, it will not lose heat very quickly at all. There's no material to contact with to transfer heat into. You only, like, radiate it out passively, and that's really slow. Any, like, machine in space has to put a lot of effort into trying to be not warm. Space. Heat. Cold. Fusion. Biomaterial. More fine background here, just like, you know, depth and gizmos and boxes and glowy screens and so forth, which are nice. A lot of good backgrounds on this game. Space. Dracula.